What's going on? A pluses, nerd mixes. It's your boy Indy Uchiha, Mr. Nerd Mix Alpha himself, and I'm right back at you with the review for Hawkeye episode 4. What the heck was this episode called? I had it in my head. I'm sorry, guys. Partners, am I right? This was a interesting episode. It didn't answer some of the questions I thought we were gonna get the answers to, but it slowed down a little bit, especially after the action-packed episode that we had with 3. And I kind of really dug it. It's some things that really got to me in this episode. The in-game score playing as your girl, Kay Bishop was dangling on the side of the roof. Definitely connected the way that I feel Marvel wanted it to connect. So that was interesting to me. But the whole thing with the sword being drawn on Hawkeye and how all that played out was pretty weird because Clint didn't recognize Jack, so I don't know if they're still playing that up as they would in the comics of Jack being the one who helped train Clint, because I'm pretty sure that should have been somebody that he recognized immediately. But knowing that now that Jack is somehow tied to the tracksuit mafia is pretty interesting, and all the matter of that's going on. But it's Kate's mom to me who seems like very, very suspicious in this matter, especially with the way she tried to divide Clint and Kate up, with the way she knew just how to press his buttons and what's going on, especially with talking about the death of Natasha and everything that went on with Kate finding out that Hawkeye was Ronin, the whole Christmas movie marathon thing that they had coming on, them just becoming closer as friends, and Kate possibly being able to take the place of Natasha. You know what I'm saying? As that friend that Clint needs badly. But watching Clint have to deal with all the negative things he did, basically being a weapon, you know what I'm saying, for Shield and the government and different things like that. Labeling himself as a killer is this kind of a story that we've been through with heroes, whether it comes to comics or any type of medium and stuff like that. Um, Knowing that they're probably doing something for the greater good, but the fact that their lives are dredged with death and violence and everything like that, and just trying to keep that from coming home to their friends. Now, this watch situation, this watch that was taken from the Avengers compound, and what is this tied to is very interesting to me, because we still don't know what this watch is tied to. It could be tied to anybody. The only thing we get between the conversations Clint and Laura is that it belongs to somebody he used to work with or work for. This watch could be anybody's, whether it's Nick Fury's, Old Man Cap's. Um, it could even go to the point where it could be somebody from Agents of Shields. Maybe it's Coulson's Rolex. You know what I'm saying? But all we know is that Rolex is tied to somebody keeping their identity secret. That's honestly, me being a fanboy, made me lean towards Coulson over anybody else, because of course I want the Agents of Shield being drawn into what's going on, whether it's Mockingbird, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, Quake, Nick Fury, Coulson. I want to see these characters come back and be folded into what's going on right now, similar to what Charlie Cox's Daredevil is going to be folded in. So that'd be interesting to me. It was a lot of the relationship between Kate and Clint being dealt on here, and Clint just dealing with his feelings on whether he wanted her around or not. I thought it was pretty cool that he went and did the hard stuff to go the one tracksuit mafia member to try to get uh Echo off the trail. You know what I'm saying, what's going on, and went to him to talk to him, while he sent Kate to go talk to the LARPers and ask them for help do what they need to do, and how easily the police have no issue with going to steal evidence from police lockup to bring it to an Avenger who may not be doing right is interesting to me. I don't think I want those individuals as police officers in my city, but they ended up doing with the promise of materials in order to be able to make themselves costumes out of. I'm guessing that's a motive if they're really into LARPing like that. But the funny thing is Kate pushing to get them two costumes made too. That was interesting. Um, the big scene with this, what was going on that that I enjoyed was them breaking into Echo's apartment because they found where the watch was being traced, and just trying to do that, and Kate going in there being attacked by Echo, and then Clint thinking he's being attacked by Echo on the outside, but who he's actually being attacked by, Yelena Belova. That's right, the White Widow herself, the sister of Natasha, who the last time we saw her was talking to Valentina when Valentina put Black Widow's death on Clint, so she's out to get revenge. Amazing fight scene between all four of these people. Um, Yelena ends up getting unmasked. Clint knows who it is. Clint's trying to push Kate away because, especially with her falling over the edge and it being very reminiscent to them, even showing different flashbacks of during this episode of what happened with Natasha, him not wanting to have to go through that again. So Clint's like ongoing struggle to like push her away just kept swaying. You know what I'm saying? Similar to a pendulum. They seem like they really get on ground together. We're calling each other like partners and trying to do it, especially with the conversation that he was having with her mom and Jack. But it just seems like having somebody there by his side, especially in a female that reminds him of Natasha, is just going to be too much for him to cope with. And so he tries to push her away. But Kate's so stubborn when it comes to that she's just gonna, you know what I'm saying, sit around. And this watch has to be a big deal. I think it's even a bigger deal than the Ronin suit. So this watch, this Rolex that they have has to lead to something, you know what I'm saying, that's going on. And I know everybody is disappointed they didn't get a Wilson Fisk reveal, but I feel like there's something bigger than that. I feel like the Yelena, knowing that she was possibly going to be there, we know she was involved with the show, having her there and having her appear in the way she did just complicates everything that is going on, because it just adds on to the people that want, you know what I'm saying, Clint Barton dead. And luckily Echo and them haven't put two and two together, knowing that Clint is Ronin himself, and Clint is just trying to detach himself from that situation so that his family's not involved. But one of the things that Kate finds in the apartment when she's going through Echo's apartment is a list of his family members, the age, the names, and stuff like that. So it looks like Echo is already going, you know what I'm saying, to involve his family. This is the first we've seen of Yelena, like I said, since Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, played by the beautiful Julia Louis Dreyfus. Pinned the death of Natasha on Clint from their post-credit scenes of Black Widow. This is the first time we've seen her since then, so it's good to see her. And we're on with the next two episodes left in the show. It's going to be pretty interesting, that conversation that Clint has with her on what happened on Vermeer, and I'm pretty interested in myself and how that's going to get resolved, and how Yelena's going to feel towards Valentina for getting the intel wrong. You know what I'm saying? You end up kind of getting Kate warming up to Jack a little bit in this episode until you find out the deep involvement with the Tracksuit Mafia. But I'm telling you, Eleanor is the one to watch out for, because Moms, I feel, knows everything that's going on and is trying her best not to have her daughter involved. So I have to see what I'm just like salivating over the type of involvement that she has, whether she is a co-conspirator, whether she's being roped into doing it, or whether she's the one that set the plan out in order to join with Kingpin, because maybe she's trying to keep the city safe in her own way. That would be an interesting pull in what's going on. This was a very good episode. I think there's a lot of stuff, like I said, to go around that watch. You can hear us debate and talk about it more this week, possibly on Hero Report. You can also check me out on Lights Camera Action later tonight over on the Nerd Mix YouTube and the Nerd Mix Gaming Facebook page. Where we're going a little bit more into that and break that down. Man, tell me what y'all thought about this episode. I actually thought this was one of the best episodes that I have watched of a Marvel Disney Plus show. Just from the way they took the time to build the bond between our two main protagonists and show the hurt and everything that Clint just humanizing Clint more and showing exactly the hurt and stuff that he's been going through and what's going on in his psyche, plus the callback from the first episode with the Rolex to bring that back, with that possibly being the real key to the events that's going on, because that's what the uh TSM was actually after. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that they brought that back around. They didn't forget about that. You guys let me know what you thought about that in the comments below. And I'll be back next week. And I'll be here this Sunday for Hero Report. But I'll be back next week with the next installment, episode 5 for Hawkeye, which is actually turning out to be a way better show than what we thought it was, ain't it? See you guys soon. Keep it A plus. This has been a Nerd Mix. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. We really appreciate it. We need them subscription numbers up, man. If you got friends that are into this type of content, tag them. You know what I'm saying? Leave them a link. Tell them to come check this out. Tell them to come over here and conversate with us so we can talk about what's going on. All right, guys. See you guys on Anime Assemble Saturday. Till next time. Indie Uchiha, Nerd Mix Alpha for A plus opinions. And I'm out, baby.